Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Scot Mendenhall. We're excited about today's topic, how to ride your one wheel on trails. If it's the Pint or the XR, they both can handle the trails. Even if you have a slick tire on there or you don't, the setup today is the XR that has over 1,000 miles on it. I am riding the brand new tire from Float Life in Burris. It's the Street Pro edition, so it is a slick tire just like the Vega and the stock tire on the Pints. The setting that I'm riding in is in Delirium, and we're off to the races. It is an extra wet trail today because it had just recently rained the night before here in Minnesota, but nonetheless, it is an epic day on some trails. Some of the things you need to know about riding on trails is it's a lot different than the street if you didn't already know that. Some of the complications are you have the roots and the rocks and turns and things of that nature that complicate the riding. So my hope is over the next few moments to give you some of the strategies that I use while riding. First thing is learn how to get light on your board. See how my knees are bent here? And then now I'm straightening back up. I am just slightly or subtly popping up off the board, getting light. Also, do pay attention if you're on a group ride like that. Don't run into the rider in front of you. You don't know what terrain is going to stop them, which is going to be difficult, which might not be difficult for you. Have patience because we were all there at one time or another. If you've come in from another board sport, surfing, snowboarding, skateboarding, the loading your board and getting light on your board is the same concept that you would use on those boards when you're hitting rocks or just wanting to get over some kind of lip. You just bend your knees slightly and you pop up. You're not trying to leave your feet off the board. You're just trying to remove some of your weight as we're waiting for some of the riders to get. I think it's Kristen up there. She's struggling at the moment. She's on a struggle bus, as some people are just like, I'm not waiting for you anymore. And I think I finally go, oh no, I think I'm going to wait. Look at that. Oh, she was saying, I remember now, I got something stuck in my fender. And that happens sometimes when you're out riding on the trails. You might get a stick in there or a leaf, and then you can hear it the entire time, which is slightly frustrating. At some point, we just have mud caked up in there, and that's what you just start hearing is this mud caked in there rubbing your tire. But now we're getting some speed here. Speed is your friend out here for the most part, a speed that you can handle. And it's going to be different for everyone, because if you've got too much speed and you hit the roots and the rocks, then you start to get speed wobble, and it's hard to come back out of that. It typically means you're going to have to jump off your board and run it out. But going faster than you would normally allows you to get over some of the trail obstacles easier than going slower. As you saw earlier, some of those that were getting stuck by roots, it's just you didn't have momentum. Momentum is your friend, but it also is fearful in your mind of like, oh, am I going too fast? You've got to pick the speed that you're comfortable with when you're in these conditions, but go a little bit quicker than you would if you were riding on the street. And be mindful of the terrain when riding on trails. Always look down the course, not down at your feet. So you're looking at, like, that's Kristen in front, so I'm watching where she's at. I'm not worried about where I'm at, because if I'm seeing the route just a foot in front of me, I'm not going to be able to adjust, pop up, get light. I'm just going to fall. As my good friend Andy here, he's pretty new, and he's like, okay, everybody, you go. I'm just slowing you guys down. Throws his board back down, and I think he was saying at one point, Scott, I'm trying to get light like you tell me to do, but it's really hard to do on the move. It is something you can practice. In the grass is a great place to practice this getting light. Coming up a small curb is a great place to practice getting light. Also, learn how to carve with your ankles, because as you're going through the terrain, you do want your ankles to kind of be the pistons or the shock absorbers, I guess, that allows you to maneuver and sometimes not even have to maneuver, just your ankles kind of pivot so you can get over the roots and the rocks. And it just makes it a much more enjoyable ride. And when you're a group ride, I know this is easy to say, but be okay with yourself not being the fastest or the best rider. There are always, and you hope to be around people that are better than you because it makes you better. If you notice there was a lip right onto the bridge, didn't slow down, just got light on the board and went over it. As you can see, Kristen struggling up here for a second. Just gotta remember to get light on your board. I want to say that so many times, and this is something you can practice. Now, there are some things that are unavoidable on trail rides, and that's when the trail is so wet that even your slick tire becomes even more of a slick and you slide out. You're going to see that here in a few moments as we're riding and no one is telling, hey, there's water up ahead or be careful. Sometimes on group ride, it's really nice for the people in front to shout out, hey, big rock, as it divides here, and it's always fun to take the road less traveled as I'm following Kristen and we're going around and we meet back up with the group. This trail system goes on and we're just going around enjoying just the view as we got some roots, and I'm trying to hold my balance here because I believe what happened in the front is Kristen slowed down and then I'm giving her some space. And then here we are, I catch back up to her as she doesn't really ride too many trails. She's getting used to it here. And if you could just rip through this, it's so much fun. If you've not gotten out there and rode some trails and you're afraid of it, man, may this inspire you to go out, get off-road. Biggest key is to go a little bit quicker than you're used to, get light on your board as much as possible when you see the rots and the roots, and when you fall, get back up on your board because it's going to happen. And typically you're not going so fast in trails that you can't outrun if you nosedive or if you do fall, because you're not going the full 20 miles an hour because that would be unwise, especially in a group setting. You kind of want the group to set the pace. I'm not trying to get around Kristen. I'm not trying to say, well, I might shout at her once in a while going, you're going too slow. But for the most part, you're out there to enjoy some scenic riding and coming in and out of the sun and back into the woods. You're just enjoying what's around you and being with some great friends. And if you're like Andy was, hey, I'm a little slow, then go to the back of the group. Typically on group rides, they wait for you at the trailhead anyways when it's done. They don't just leave you. At least the group rides I've been a part of, when we get out, we always wait for the last person, male or female, to get out of the woods to make sure that the bears and cougars and wolves didn't get you. I mean, that at least is the thing here in Minnesota. As you can tell, the pace is slowing back down again as we're coming up to some water there and some other slickery spots here as I'm going to try to make up. I tried to go up it there and I bailed. Now you're going to see the super muddy section here as trying to kick it around. Andy catches up and now it's a slant, and so I fall off. Kristen's struggling, Lily's struggling here. You can see the mud sticking to the tire. Super muddy, but it's on an incline, so you're sliding down toe side here. So you have to lean back on heel side to keep going. Look at Kristen or Lily's brand new. She's got mud all over it. It became very muddy. And your one wheel handles it. You might have to hose it off a little bit. It makes for great riding and test your ability out here. It makes you a better rider if you can handle all different kinds of trails and terrain. And there's Joey. He struggled for a second through the mud. And I hope just those few things that I shared with you helps your riding trails so much more fun. At the end of the day, get out and ride some trails. You'll love it. It'll bring a different side to one-wheeling for you than you've ever experienced before. So thank you so much for watching. We're dropping one-wheel content all the time on this channel. Things like this and product reviews. We got a great video dropping soon about some great merchandise from other companies other than us that we want to make you aware of as everybody's cleaning up all the mud and debris, which is hilarious. So give us a subscribe, turn on the bell notification, and drop a comment down below on your favorite terrain to ride. Thanks, guys. Bye.